Hi everybody, welcome back to Icelandic for Foreigners. In this video we're going to be talking about the Hinn chart and how it can benefit you to take some time to memorize this chart. Now you might be wondering, what is the Hinn chart? Well, here it is right here. What we're looking at is one word with 24 different forms. Now in case you're not entirely sure what we're looking at right now, on the left side of the screen we have the singular forms and on the right side we have the plural. Then we have 6 different columns. Karlkin means masculine, so we have the masculine singular and the masculine plural forms. Kvenkin means feminine, and kvorkin means neuter. Then we also have 4 rows. The NF stands for nepnefall, which means nominative. This is the grammatical case. And if you're not entirely sure what cases are, I recommend you go and check out my video about Icelandic cases. If that's a new concept to you, then this video might be slightly too advanced for you. I'd recommend you go and brush up on that topic and start to understand exactly what cases are so that this video can be the most helpful for you. Anyway, the next case is accusative, then we have dative and genitive. So here we have the 24 different forms of Hinn. So what does Hinn mean? Well, Hinn is an article that means the, although usually it's not used to mean the in modern spoken Icelandic, and I'll talk about that more in a second. The nice thing about the Hinn chart, though, is that it shows us useful declension patterns that help us in other aspects of the language too. So there are 4 uses of the Hinn chart that we're going to be talking about today. The first is using it as a definite article, or the. Next is using it to help us with our possessive pronouns. Third is to help us with adjectives. And 4 is to help us when we're using phrases with the other. We want to talk about the other object. So let's talk about each of these in turn. So let's talk first about the definite article. Now in English we have 2 articles. We have a, like a dog, and we have the dog. Now Icelandic doesn't have the indefinite article. You don't say a dog, you just say hundur. You just say dog. But if we want to say the dog, then we have to add the definite article ending, which in this case is hundurinn, which means the dog. And I put a hyphen in here. Normally you wouldn't write the hyphen, but I just wanted you to see the ending. Then we also have these different forms for the different cases. And if you notice, not only do we have the form on the left side changes for each case, but so does the article on the right side. So let's look at how the Hinn chart can help us out with that. Well, if we look at the Hinn chart, and then we look particularly at the masculine columns, because we're talking about the word hundur, which is a masculine word. If we just cross out these H's, or the first H in each word, or on the right side you see we cross out the H and the I, then what we're left with is exactly the definite article endings for the word hundur. So we have hundurinn, hundin, hundinum, and hundsins. And those match perfectly with the Hinn chart above, which is hin, hin, hinum, and hins. And the same goes for the right side. So when we learn the Hinn chart, it also gives us the definite article endings. Next, it helps us with possessive pronouns, particularly the pronoun min, which means my, thin, which means your, and sin, which means his, her, or their, the reflexive form. So let's look at how they compare. So here we have the Hinn chart, and here we have the min chart. As you can see, they're very similar. There are just a couple minor differences. We have some accented I's in some of them and not in others. And then we do have the form mit instead of mið. But other than that, you can see that the endings are all basically the same. So when we learn the Hinn chart, it helps us with our possessive pronouns. And if you want to be able to talk about something that you own, like my house, then you're going to need to learn these possessive pronouns, and the Hinn chart will help you with that. Let's talk about adjectives. Now, if you've looked at all into Icelandic adjectives, you know that there are a lot of forms, just like there are a lot of forms of Hinn. And it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but learning the Hinn chart can actually help us learn our adjectives as well. So here's our Hinn chart, and we'll first look at an adjective skrítin, which some of the Icelandic adjectives look like this. They have the INN ending. And if you look at the ending for each of these forms of skrítin, you'll see that they correspond almost exactly with the different forms of Hinn. So learning the Hinn chart will definitely help you with these adjectives. Let's look at a more, I guess, common adjective that doesn't have quite, it's not quite as similar to the Hinn chart, but the Hinn chart is still helpful. So here we have the adjective góður, which means good. And you can see that the endings don't exactly line up, although there are a lot of similarities. But another way that the Hinn chart can help us with this, besides just the endings, is it shows us the different patterns. For example, just like in the Hinn chart, when we look at the adjective góður, we notice that these three forms are the same, as they will be with every adjective, and as they are in the Hinn chart. These two are always the same. These two as well. These four are always the same. These three are always the same. These two, and these two. When we learn the Hinn chart, it really is giving us the template for all other adjectives, and that can be really helpful. So just another reason to learn the Hinn chart. The last reason that we're going to look at to learn the Hinn chart is so that you can use phrases with the other. For example, I read the other book. In Icelandic, we say ég las hina bókina. And you can notice here that, first of all, we have the definite article ending on bók, bókina, and we also have hina in front of it. This is how we say the other book. There is one quick thing you need to know about using hin in this context, and that is that actually these two forms, the neuter, singular, nominative, and accusative forms, we actually use the word hit instead of his. And technically this is a different chart, but as you can see, everything else stays the same, so it's not very different. Also, don't get confused with using hin versus annar, which is how we say another book, as opposed to the other book. Anyway, those are the reasons why you should learn the Hinn chart. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, and stay posted for more. Bless, bless.